Let me welcome you all most warmly to this graduation ceremony for the University of London International Programmes. This is the 7th year running in which the graduation ceremony is being held in the splendid surroundings of the Barbican Centre, and I'm very pleased to declare the ceremony open. Those graduating today come from all over the world. That international reach has been one of the most compelling features of the external system, which is the previous name for what we now call international programmes, since it began over 150 years ago. What is often forgotten is just how important international programmes has been for students in the United Kingdom. Of those whom we welcome here today, some 30% of you are based in the UK. But that means that 70% are from other countries spread all across the world. Many of you will have travelled very long distances to be at this ceremony, and it may well be your first visit to London. This is one of the most international of all cities, with about 350 different first languages spoken by its residents. It is a vibrant, exciting city that thrives on the diversity of its people. That diversity is one reason why London warmly welcomes all its visitors, and I hope that you and your guests enjoy your stay here. At the heart of this culturally diverse city, we have the University of London, which is a federation of 19 autonomous colleges with which some of you will have come into contact while undertaking your programme of study. All 19 have major international reputations in their fields, and those reputations sustain the global reputation of the university as a whole. As the head of one of those colleges, Goldsmiths, and now as Vice-Chancellor of the university, I have been active in ensuring that the University of London remains the global force that it is today, and that it sustains the global reputation that has made you all wish to study for its degrees. The size and global reach of international programmes is something of which we are all proud, but in the years to come, I feel sure that it has the capacity to grow even further in the number of its students, their geographical range, and above all their impact on their own countries and the global society that affects us all. Under the inspiring leadership of Professor Jonathan Kidd, the Dean of the the International Academy, and Mr. Andrew Bollington, its Chief Operating Officer, I know that that will be achieved. There are now more than 50,000 international programme students in over 180 countries. They're working on more than 100 study programmes that range from finance to public health, from law to epidemiology, from creative computing to petroleum geoscience. The world, in the years to come, will be driven by its knowledge economy, and those with education and skills will excel in it. It is the goal of international programmes to play a leading role in creating that global knowledge economy, in providing the excellent educational opportunities of the University of London to young people and not so young people across the world. The celebration today needs to be shared with the many institutions across the globe that provide our students with teaching support. The success of these institutions, many of which are represented here today, and their contribution to international programmes, success as a whole, is being acknowledged through the recently introduced Institutions Policy Framework. This new framework formally recognises the role of the most committed of these as teaching institutions for our programmes. For those of you graduating today with a University of London degree, like your many predecessors, that degree is the key to new and exciting career opportunities. Some of our graduates have risen to remarkable heights. Amongst them are 7 Nobel Prize winners who prove that the opportunities offered by international programmes can lead to success on a remarkable scale. The 2 latest additions to the list of Nobel Prize winners who had studied through what was then the external system are Dr. Rolf Payet, who was lead author of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and jointly shared the Nobel Peace Prize with former US Vice President Al Gore, and Dr. Charles Cowell, joint winner of the 2009 Nobel Prize in Physics for groundbreaking achievements concerning the transmission of light in fibres for optical communication. The Nobel Prize winners such as these stand at a pinnacle, but so many of our graduates play key roles in their chosen fields. We've been proud over the years to enable people across the world who did not have access to high-quality university education, for whatever reason, to study for degrees. For most, it has created opportunities for their own progress. but for some it has provided the hope of education in the face of inequality and oppression. Most prominent amongst these was Nelson Mandela, who for many of his 27 years imprisoned on Robben Island was studying law as a London external student. Although he passed the London intermediate examinations in 1963, the conditions set by the South African authorities prevented him from completing his degree. And Nelson Mandela is only the most famous of many people for whom studying in this way has allowed them to insist on their humanity in the face of oppression. We are proud that the University of London has helped make that possible. I congratulate you all on achieving your degrees. This success will benefit you and all the countries, communities and industries that you represent. It will also benefit, if I may say so, the world as a whole. We live in a global village beset by economic problems, by political tensions and by global inequalities. Having more people with university degrees will not solve those problems on its own, but it will support the economic opportunities that will raise people's standard of living across the world. And it will also create the understanding and the tolerance that is one of the bases of the harmonious and more equal and just world in which we all want to live. Graduates are not just ambitious, they are also educated, thoughtful, reflective. Their ambitions should extend not just to themselves and their families, but to the wider world to which we all have a responsibility. You are all leaving today with degrees from an outstanding university. You are superbly prepared for further study and for the careers on which you are all embarking. You have exciting futures ahead of you, and as graduates of the University of London, doors will open because of the high reputation of your qualification. But I hope that you will also carry with you the responsibilities of all those educated at university in a world where the great majority of people do not have that privilege. And that responsibility is, above all, to ensure that you use your knowledge, your understanding, and your capacity for critical analysis, not only to enhance your own careers, important as those are, but to help make the world a better and more equitable place for all those who live in it. Your knowledge has been hard won, and you should be proud of it. My call to all of you graduating today is that you use that knowledge well. Our graduates are an integral part of our unique global network, the community of the University of London's international programmes graduates across the world. A small part of that community is present today, and the newest part. Many of you will have followed a programme of study through international programmes because you were inspired to do so by other students and by graduates whom you knew. And you too will spread the word about the importance of international programmes to others in the future. The 950 students graduating at today's two ceremonies, a remarkable number and testimony to the commitment of you all to the importance of your degree. The 950 students graduating will become members of the ever-expanding International Programmes Alumni Association, and with it, members of this distinguished 150-year-old community. Your journey to this point has been far from easy. I know that for all of you it represents a long and sustained commitment to a programme of study, often carried out under circumstances that were not ideal, and may indeed often have been very difficult. Some of you have had to remain in full-time work while studying. Others have had family or dependents to look after. We must not forget those of you who have had to study completely by yourselves, with little or no tutored support. It is for these reasons that alongside all of those in the University of London, I'm very proud indeed to see you all here today, waiting to be presented. And I'm also full of admiration for what each of you has achieved. And today is also, of course, a celebration of the parents, partners, children and friends of those graduating, the people who've supported you in so many ways throughout your studies. I'm delighted that so many of them have made the journey to be here today and to celebrate your achievements. It can be difficult for those closest to you. I know that they all rejoice today in your success, but I suspect that many will also be breathing a deep sigh of relief that it's finally over. Since taking over as Vice-Chancellor last September, I've had the pleasure of travelling to degree ceremonies in Moscow and Hong Kong. Next month, I shall be going to award degrees in Singapore. But the ceremony here in London is always a special one, because it takes place at the heart of the city where the great University of London has its home. As Vice-Chancellor, I'm delighted to be here today to congratulate you and wish you all success during the next phase of your journey as a graduate of the University of London. I hope that you are proud of your University of London degree, as we are proud of you all for having earned it. Enjoy your very special day. Thank you.